Hi there, welcome back to Living Life on Purpose. Okay, today we're going to be looking at a Bible character, Adam. We're going to continue from where we stopped. In our previous video, we were able to point out a pro and a con. Okay, 1 point to learn and 1 flaw that we learned, okay, from Adam's mistake. Okay, and those points were, or rather the point was, he utilized the authority given to him by God, and whatever he called, that's what it became. That was what it was. Okay, whatever name he gave any animal or plant, whatever name he called it, that was his name. So we're able to realize that we are prophets, and it's in us. God has given us the authority to call what we want to be. And then a flaw we pointed out on Adam was he wasn't able to effectively communicate what God had told him to Eve, his wife. Okay, so communication is very important. The details of our visions or missions should be clear to people. When they're able to know the vision, they'll be able to run with it, be it in ministry, be it at home, be it at work. Whenever the people or whoever is around you is able to see clearly what is written on the wall, they'll be able to stand in for you even when you are not there. Okay, today we'll be moving on to the second point and second flaw of Adam. Now, in Genesis chapter 3 verse 7, we realize that after they had disobeyed God by eating the fruit, they realized that they were naked. Okay, they were exposed to their sin, or rather there was a consequence for their sin. They got to know that they were naked. Now, instead of Adam to dwell in the mistake they had made, he united with his wife to gather leaves to sew a covering for themselves. Okay, now here's the point. When you make a mistake or when you stray, that's not a time for you to wallow in the mistake. No, find a way out, find a solution. It's not time for you to argue. It's not time for you to say, okay, this. Deal with the situation at hand. Okay, now for example, someone fell. Okay, you were not looking right, or you were not watching the child properly and the child fell down. That's not the time for you to say, oh, you were not watching properly. If you had watched this wouldn't have happened, that wouldn't have happened. No, you're supposed to pick up that child, clean up the mess before attending to what caused the issue. So when there's a mistake, there's no time. There shouldn't be time for wallowing. Okay, you shouldn't wallow in the mistake. Get moving, move forward. Okay, so that's what Adam did. He united with the wife, even if the wife was the one who listens to the enemy at that point in time and caused the problem. What happened was that he worked hand in hand with her to see that what they got out of the situation they were in. Okay, so even as a family man and a wife that you are, whenever you find out you have made a mistake, it's not time for you people to quarrel or to fight or to argue or to isolate yourselves. It's time for you to team up and solve the problem. When you have solved the problem, then you can attend to what caused the problem. Okay, now let's move on to a flaw of Adam. If we look at Genesis 3 verse 12, when God asked Adam, okay, what happened? Have you eaten of the tree I asked you not to eat of? Okay, when he came into the garden to have fellowship with them and he realized they were hiding from him, that's God, he asked the question, and Adam did not take responsibility. Now here's the flaw. He decided to blame the wife. Okay, he was the one that was given the instruction. He was supposed to take responsibility for their predicaments, but he transferred the blame to the wife. And guess what the wife did? She also transferred the blame. Okay, she did not take responsibility. Now, whenever as a leader that you are, whether it's at work, whether it's in ministry, whether it's in your home, as a leader that you are, whenever you find out there's a problem, take responsibility. Apportioning blames apportioning blames does not get you results, and it does not show maturity. Okay, as a true leader that you are, learn to take responsibility. Okay, when we take responsibility, sometimes I think if Adam had taken responsibility, I believe the measure of the curse, who knows, we don't know, but who knows, the measure of the curse wouldn't have been as weighty as it was on them. But because he refused to take responsibility, he got a curse, the wife got a curse, and even the serpent, yes, got a curse. So we should learn to take responsibility. So that's what you should begin to do. When you are at fault, take responsibility for your actions and deal with it. When you have found mistakes in your life, take responsibility. So many people now as adults are still blaming their parents for their predicament right now. Instead of them to take responsibility for their life, be responsible for their lives, they are blaming one person or the other. Oh, if my boss had done this, I would have done better. Oh, if my father had done this, I would have done better. Not taking responsibility is not good. Okay, so we should learn that from Adam, okay, from his mistake. Now we're gonna move on, okay. In chapter 3 verses 20, Genesis chapter 3 verse 20, we realize that even after the fall of man, that was when Adam named the wife Eve. Guess what he called her? Eve, mother of the living. Can you imagine that? Mother of the living. A curse is synonymous to death. Okay, when a curse is given, it's in line with death. But he called the wife mother of the living. Now, it does not matter the situation that you are in right now. You still have that authority still in you to call forth life. That thing that is looking dead in your life, you have what it takes to call forth life. And you know what? Whatever you call a thing, that's what it will be. That's why names are important. Whatever name you give to a situation, stop calling the sickness my sickness. No, it's not yours. Whatever it is that is dying around you, call it life. Call it to life, and it gets back to life. Guess what? Eve was able to still bear another child, okay? And then she's up to date. She's the mother. She's the mother of the living, okay? All right, let's move on to the last point on Adam, okay? And we'll wrap up on the story of Adam, or rather the character Adam. Lastly, in Genesis chapter 4, verses 1 and 25. Okay, verses 1. Now Adam knew his wife, and she bore them a son, Seth. Okay, knew is past tense of know. Okay, beyond the physical intimacy, there's something that knowing, in-depth knowledge of a thing does. It brings about fruitfulness. Okay, that thing you are passionate about, learn a lot about it, go in depth about it. Okay, when you know a thing, that thing becomes productive and fruitful. Okay, as a man, if you're able to know the passion of your wife, you're able to know what she loves, what she does not love, know her in depth. Okay, you're able to read her moods part time. Guess what? She becomes productive and fruitful. If you as a business owner is able to master that business, know the nick and cranny of it all, guess what? It becomes fruitful to you. If you're able to understand the people you are leading, whether in an organization, you're able to understand how they function, guess what? They become productive and fruitful. Whatever you know has the tendency to multiply, has the tendency to be fruitful, has the tendency to be productive. Know your husband, know your children. If you're able to know your children, I'm telling you, they'll become productive. When you knew is a past tense of know, okay? When you have known a thing, that thing has no option than for it to become productive. Okay, I hope you've been able to learn from the character Adam. We've been able to see that he united with his wife. He did not wallow in a mistake. We've also learned from him that he did not take responsibility for their actions. So you should take responsibility for your actions. We also learned that the things that are dead around you have the potency and the power to call them back to life. That whatever you name a thing, that's what it will be. And lastly, when you know a thing, when you have known a thing, it becomes fruitful. I hope we have been able to learn something. If you have, please, I'd like to hear what you have learned in the comment section. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll be stopping here, and then in our next video we're going to be studying another character. Okay, I hope you are ready for that. Okay, thank you for listening. Catch you soon. Bye bye.